Instead of starting from scratch, you can import questions from another Google form, Doc, Word, PDF, ChatGPT, or a spreadsheet like Google Sheets or Excel. Let's start with a blank Google form for Jane and James' wedding. I'm going to use the Import Questions option. This option only allows you to import questions from other Google forms. It won't let you import questions from other file types. I'm going to import questions from my other wedding RSVP form for Alex and Victoria. On the right, you will see a list of all the questions currently in that form. You can check specific sections or questions or select all to import everything. Once you have made your selections, click Import Questions. The questions are imported exactly as they were, since this is a Google form to Google form transfer. Another resource you might have is a list of questions in a Google Docs or Word. Unfortunately, to get them into a Google form, you will need to manually copy and paste each question. Pasting a long drop-down option isn't too bad and goes pretty quickly. But if your survey is long, it can take a lot of time. If you have a PDF with your questions, it's the same process. Copy and paste each question. Then adjust any additional settings or options in the form. Another resource you might consider is an AI tool like ChatGPT. First, create a prompt specifying what you want in your survey, such as important dates, attendance questions, preferences, options, and even the types of questions to use. Then let it generate your questions. You can refine or rerun them to make them better. ChatGPT can even create a Google form for you, though it doesn't always work and sometimes requires an upgraded plan. If it doesn't work, you can just copy and paste the questions manually, just like you would from a doc or PDF. Another place you might have a list of questions is Google Sheets or Excel. I have a list with questions, question types, and options. I can try to manually copy the questions into Google Forms, along with the options. The problem is the list of options doesn't copy properly. Everything ends up on one line, and you have to break them into separate options, which is time-consuming and annoying. I tried splitting the option text into separate columns, but the only improvement was losing the delimiter. Otherwise, it's still pasted on one line. One method that worked a little better is copying the split text as values, then using paste special and transpose them into a column. Now the options paste correctly into Google Forms. However, this is still a lot of work for many questions, and not exactly fast. The best way to import questions into Google Forms is with an add-on. But first, let's look at how to export your Google Form questions to Sheets or Excel. When your Google Form is complete, the only thing you can easily export is the responses as a CSV. You can export questions as a PDF, but not directly to Excel, which seems like something Google could add since you can export the responses to CSV. One workaround is to copy all your questions from the Google form and paste them into ChatGPT. Ask it to create an Excel file with all the questions. Make sure to specify questions and options, otherwise the options will be missing. You can also ask ChatGPT to add a column for the question type, or you can add it manually. This worked pretty well. Now I have a good Excel file that I want to use to import questions into Google Forms using an add-on. Go to your form, then click More Options and choose Get Add-ons. The one I found to be the best is a form builder. Install it into your system. Next, go to Add-ons, choose Form Builder, and Start. This add-on lets you import questions from all types of formats: sheets, docs, slides, and forms. You can also export questions easily into the same formats. I want to import from Excel, so I first need to convert it to Google Sheets by uploading it to Google Drive and saving it as Google Sheets. Now I'm ready to click the Google Sheets option. Select the file you want to use, then choose the tab in the worksheet that serves as reference. You can import questions and answers, or a quiz. I will select the second option. Then verify the range for import. For me, it is A1 to C25. Also, I will check the range includes headers in my file. Underneath, you have options where you need to tell Form Builder where to find your data. Questions are in column A. Question types are in column B. Option Start and Finish is in column C. In my case, I also am using a comma delimiter, so I will check that. Then click Get to start the import process. You will see a list of all the questions from your Sheets file, including the type and options. You can select Edit Properties to make changes to any question. You can also preview how the Google form will look before you import. If something doesn't look right, you can adjust it in the properties. You can easily change the question type from a drop-down menu. Under Advanced Features, you can control settings like overriding existing questions, shuffling option order, or collecting email addresses. Once everything is ready, click Import Now. You may still need to go through all the questions to make final adjustments, split options that didn't transfer correctly, or fix any specifications you missed. However, this was a very speedy process and worked the best. Thanks so much for watching.